Hello everybody, it's Christy and it is Saturday, March 27th and it is an absolutely gorgeous day here. I got up early and worked on a couple projects this morning and decided I would try to shoot a video here real quick. And I wanted to share with you a couple things that I've been working on, and I'm hopeful this weekend that I'll be able to film a couple videos that I can upload this coming week. The last couple weeks have been pretty hectic. My dad was very sick and boy, we almost lost him. And so so that was just super scary. And bless my mom's heart. What a week that she's been through. Oh my goodness. So oh gosh, I haven't had a chance to really be crafting very much. And what I did do, and then my sister was here, and so what I ended up doing was I worked from home, not this past week, but the week before, and I ended up not really getting much done, but I did start a couple projects, and I thought I would just kind of share with you what those are. And I will have the two of these items will be for sale, and I'll list them in my Etsy at some point this weekend probably, which I'll link below. And then I guess that's it. I should get busy on sharing with you what I have got going on. So a few weeks ago I was watching a video, and I'll put a link to it below, but it was by Robin, who is the Artsy Bohemian. And she had done this file folder, this little file folder book kind of thing. And I was really intrigued by it, but I hadn't had the chance to I started it, but I haven't had a chance to really finish it. But I thought I'd share it with you. I'll put a link to the video below. You can check it out. And it definitely was... It's a lot of fun, and I need to go through and work on some of the embellishing and things like that. But essentially you take a file folder and you cut it a certain way that it makes this really cool thing. You put a little journal inside. It's got pockets, and I covered it with a bunch of different vintage trims and just some of my favorite things that I have. And so I just really, really like it a lot. I love it. I think it's so pretty. But let's take a look at it. So down here on the bottom, I've got this pocket, and I added just a bunch of vintage trims. And then these are some of my favorite crocheted flowers that I had bought from an Etsy seller, and she no longer sells them. I think she sells the patterns now, but she doesn't make these and sell them. And she's in Europe, but they're so beautiful. So I've added a couple there. And then I just have some vintage tatting and vintage tablecloth. And then inside the pocket, I just made these little collage tags. They're plain on the back, added some trims to the top. And this is some vintage book page that I collaged on and added some vintage trims to the top, and then another of the little collage tags, and then they slip in the pocket. And then it closes with these two vintage mother of pearl buttons with some sari silk, and it just twists. But you can see I layered over the file folder the lace, and I did stitch around, and then I added this other vintage trim to the inside. This was an avocado dyed piece of lace. I don't know where I got it from, and I think I probably purchased a kit, and it was a part of a kit. But oh, it's beautiful. So when you open it up, I created this. I still want to add a pocket or some kind of embellishment here, so I'm not totally done yet. And I need to embellish inside here. So it's just a fun sheet music and pattern paper, coffee dyed paper. This paper is the Imagine the Imagine papers from Stamperia, and love this paper. It's so beautiful. And I thought I bought the 12 by 12, but I actually bought the 8 by 8, which ended up being perfect for this little book because it's not too big. And so the scale of the prints is really nice for this. And I just added some decorative tabs, little embellishments with some vintage trims, a stamp, and then I created a pocket out of some vintage ledger page, coffee dyed paper, more vintage trim that I made some tabs out of, more coffee dyed paper, the center, the signature. Love this paper, guys. It's so beautiful. It's so pretty. In the back of that little pocket with some vintage trims, more trims. And it's just a really great way to showcase some of these, you know, lovely trims. I really like it. So I still have embellishing to do. I need to embellish on these and the tags and these little flippy bits here. But isn't that pretty? I love it. And then when you turn it this way, you've got this pocket here. And, oh, I guess you could leave it that way. But you've got this pocket here. And then you have this pocket that you make out of the leftover file folder. And again, there's another tag. I haven't done anything with that yet. And then just embellished it again with some vintage trims. And this is one of the tags from the paper collection. It's just so, I love it. I really love this a lot. And then here on the back, again, you've got this pocket. And these I just stuck in there as a filler. I don't know that I'm going to leave these in there. I might leave this one in, but I probably won't. I don't know. We'll see. I might make another one of these. It's a altered flashcard that I just put some digital pieces on, some old book page and a label. And then these are some Tracy Fox images and labels and coffee dyed paper. And then this is, I have some 5 by 8. I think they're 5 by 8. Yeah, they're 5 by 8 index cards. And so I collaged on them and then cut them into tags. And then I stitched and I added, these are Tracy Fox images, vintage ledger. There's some digi kits in there, old book page. And then I backed them with some masking paper. Love that. So I need to add some kind of a tab on this. I was kind of thinking I might go out to the side, not sure, or I might do something at the top. But I really love that a lot. And you can fit so much in this little thing. It's amazing. And so again, another pocket covered with this beautiful vintage trim. And then this is another one of those collage tags. And I made this little snippet collage here and added this little initial French laundry label. And it's a V and a G, which are my grandma's initials, my mom's initials. So I thought that was really pretty. And I just stitched it on and then put it on a bulb pin and attached some of this super vintage lace here that's just so soft, and then tied some twine. And then it just sticks in the pocket. So like I said, I'm not done with this yet, but I'm going to work on it probably this weekend. And I don't know, I love it. I think it's really cool. And I'll probably have this for sale on my Etsy as well at some point once I get it finished. But like I said, I haven't really been in a hurry to like rush through getting it done because I just kind of wanted to take my time and kind of enjoy the process. And then it just closes with the sari silk and you just twist it around. Of course, I'm going to be all thumbs. I'm going to be all thumbs on the video, but you just twist it and then that just can kind of be wherever it wants to be. And then got this tag, this one and that one in there. But isn't that pretty? I just love it. So cool. So that's like the first thing I've been working on, and I'll just pick it up and I'll do a little bit and I'll put it aside. But it's just kind of a fun thing to come in and do just little bits and pieces on as you have time. And I've kind of enjoyed that. No pressure approach to creating. It's been really fun. So anyway, love that. So I've been doing that. And then I watched another of Robin's videos, which I'll put below. And she shared a 2-part tutorial that she had made these needle books, and she had repurposed a pair of overalls and made a needle book. And she also shared a link for the pattern that she had bought on Etsy. So I will link that below. I'll also link to the pattern that I purchased. I will tell you that if you watch Robin's video, she says that the pattern is $1.50, and the lady has since increased it to $4, which still isn't a bad price for a pattern. And so, but just so you know, if you go to purchase it, it is at $4 for the pattern. And the second thing I will say is that you I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I know Robin in her video mentioned that her center page didn't fit right either. So I'm trying, this next one that I work on, I'm going to figure out the inside measurements and then make my own template for the inside page, because the measurements that are in the pattern, when you sew it like she says and you turn it, it's bigger, it's taller than the book. And I don't think it's supposed to be that way. And so, well, I know it's not supposed to be that way. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do. So I've kind of just done my own thing on the center page, but let me tell you what I made. I love them. I made these 2 so far. I have a 3rd one started. And then I'll also have a 4th one. I'll share some fabric that I picked up at an antique mall last weekend. But, so yeah, I've done 2 of them. So I'll show you, we'll start with this one first. Well, no, I made this one first. And so I had this really pretty vintage, cotton. It's probably, I think it's like from the 70s or 80s, but it's so pretty. It's just beautiful, and found it at Goodwill. And so that makes the cover, the front cover. And it's the little center page is stitched down with a sewing machine. And I did use sari silk for the closure. And on the back here is just a little vintage lace and fabric collage that I've stitched, and then I glued it down. And I just thought it added a little bit to the back so it wasn't so plain. And I really like that. And the cover is just several different vintage trims that I've layered together and sewn down the center. And then I adhered that to the front. And then these are some crocheted flowers from the same lady who made these. And I stitched some of my vintage mother of pearl buttons on the inside and glued them down. And I just think it's so pretty. And then, of course, tied with some sari silk. And then when you open it up, you've got, so you have this pocket on the inside, and then you have these little felt parts that are your needle keeps, and that you can stick your needles into. On this book, I used my pinking shears and I cut out the felt. I cannot find, for the life of me, I do not know where my scalloped square die is. Can't find it. So I used my Lawn Fawn stitched square die to cut out the burgundy, because I finally decided, well, I wanted to just use the square die for the center. So I used my Lawn Fawn die and I cut the felt out. And then I used my pinking shears on the back layer. And then there's a couple that I used the pinking shears on both. And then I stitched the 2 layers of felt together. And then when I glued them down, there's only glue on this outer section. So this whole inside section is free of glue. So when you go to put a pin or a needle or something in it, you're not going to run into glue on the inside perimeter of your felt pieces. And so that'll be good. And then I just added some little bits of vintage laces and part of the fabric, and I just made these little collages that I put down and accented. This is some beautiful vintage trim that I've had for a long time that I adhered down to the pocket. And in here, you could add like a pin. you could put, heaven knows we need our seam ripper. You could put your seam ripper inside. You can stick scissors. If you have like a small ruler, you can put that in there. And up here at the top, you could put in like some safety pins with some buttons on them if you wanted to put buttons. There's just a lot of different things you could do. And then I did put a little embellishment here with a couple of vintage buttons and some trim, and just put it on a bulb pin and put that on the lace there. And then this is the inside of the pages. And again, I've just got some vintage trims, and then I've got the 2 needle keep areas, and then some vintage trim that creates this pocket here. And again, you could put, I kind of envision, you know, these little center pockets. Maybe if you had some embroidery flosses wound up that you wanted to keep on some cards, you could tuck them inside here. If you had some buttons on button cards, you could stick those inside. I just think it's such a great thing. The other thing that I think would be fun, which I don't have with me, it's in the other room, but in my little needle book that I have, I've got my little needle threader. And so you can attach the needle threader to like a decorative safety pin or something, and you could clip that inside your book, and it could just kind of live there, and that would be a great place to keep it. And again, this is the back page, so you've got this pocket and then another needle keep area, and then it just closes and ties. And I just absolutely love these. I think they're so much fun. So this is the first one, and then this is the second one that I made. I finished it this morning, but I used the same fabric, and I did add batting to mine. I did add some batting to the covers, and then I also added batting to the inside pages. The pattern does say that you can use like a woven interfacing, or I think it was, I don't know if she mentions batting or not, but I just thought batting would be nice because it would just kind of give it some softness, and I just think that's really nice, especially for a little fabric book. So this one, this is some vintage trim that I found, and I absolutely love it. I only have about a yard, and I've used quite a bit on this book, and so I'm probably going to hoard the other bit that I have. But it's so pretty, and these almost look like little butterflies, but oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And down here, I just layered up some vintage laces. I did a little fabric ruffle, another vintage trim, and then I stitched on 3 more of those mother of pearl buttons. And then this frame is from the same lady who made the crocheted flowers, and it's a crocheted frame. And then I printed off, this image is from Ruby and Pearl XO on Etsy. I'll put a link below to her shop, but this is one of her vintage lady kits, and I loved her hat. I thought she was so beautiful, so I printed her on fabric paper and then put her behind the frame and then glued that down, and I just love it. Let's see, I've got some vintage crochet underneath here. It's like part of a doily, I think. And then this is some vintage trim that I found at an antique mall, and it's these absolutely beautiful bows, and oh, it's just lovely. And then this is a vintage millinery flower, and so I glued that down there, and I just love it. And then on the inside of this one, I used this really pretty green felt with this maroon felt, and I just love how it looks. I did not pink the edges. I die cut the maroon pieces, and then I just used my rotary cutter and cut a 2 3/4 inch squares. And then these maroon ones are about 2.5 inches, and then I stitched them and glued them down like I had in the previous book. Added some vintage, oh, this vintage trim here is so beautiful. And then just layered up several different vintage trims and some ticking and stitched it and then glued it down. Excuse me, guys. And then again, you've got your pocket on the inside. And on this page, In the pattern, there are directions for making a tool belt that goes, and I can't remember, I don't remember which side. I think you can have it wrap around the back, or you can have it go across the middle, the inside. I didn't want that to go all the way through, but I did want to put a little scissor keeper. And so I layered together some vintage ticking. There's some lace, some more of that vintage fabric from the cover, and this beautiful vintage tatting. And I stitched it 4 times across. And then I stitched it down to the page. And then it's perfect for this size of scissors. So I have 4 different pairs of scissors that are about this size. These are a little bit bigger, but the fabric snips. So I sized it so that it would fit. This is the smallest pair, but it will fit all of them. And then you can just keep your scissors inside, which I thought was really fun. And again, you've got your needle keep areas. This is some vintage doily and trim, and I stitched a button there. And on the edge of this, I've got several different vintage trims and some fabric. I love it. And the inside, I've got some more of this vintage doily trims, some buttons, and I just kind of mirrored that there. And then this trim is so beautiful, and it's got a little faint, there's really isn't much blue in this, but I really loved how the blue just kind of accented the colors, and it's really pretty. And I have this vintage trim here, and again, it creates a pocket. And for this one, you know, it's more of a delicate trim, and so if you're going to put anything inside of these pockets, I would keep it to maybe like a button card or like needles, if you have little needle books, to put those inside. And again, you've got your places for your needles and your pins. And then I've got here, and again, you could clip on some safety pins here and have some buttons or different things if you wanted to have them inside. I thought that was really pretty. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. On Sunday night, I went to go put wood in the fire before I went to bed. And so this line is the edge of my wood stove. I didn't have my glasses on, and my depth perception wasn't that great apparently. And I just burnt my hand really bad. And I'm out of Band-Aids. I have to get Band-Aids. So I apologize that it's kind of out there for y'all to see. But anyway, and then again, I just repeated that trim here. Love it. And then again, we've got one more needle keep area, another one of those vintage doilies, button and some trims. And then I did another one of those vintage collage elements there that's been glued down. And the pocket, it's perfect for one of your 1x6 inch rulers. It's really perfect for that. The one thing I thought I could do, which might be actually really handy, is I thought it would be handy to take the next one I make, I'll probably do this. I was thinking about sectioning this pocket off before I decorate like the front and back, and just stitch a couple little compartments, because it would hold your ruler in. So if we did like a 1.5 inch, you know, stitch there, and then possibly another one, it would be a great way to pop like a fabric marker in. So I think on my next one, I'm going to divide this pocket by stitching down the center, and then it makes a little more snug for your ruler to slide in. And then if you wanted to add a seam ripper or a fabric pin or something, you could do that. But I thought that would be great. And then it just closes up. And then on the back, I did again that little vintage lace collage, and I glued that down. And this one I did stitch around the perimeter of it. But they are so much fun. And I will list these in my Etsy. You can always get a hold of me as well here and ask about it as well. But I'll have them listed hopefully by tomorrow, the 28th. But yes, I love them. They are so much fun, guys. But you should try it. Loads of fun. And then I will be back with some more projects to share with you this weekend. I was tempted to do a bit of a haul video, I've gotten a few vintage items and some trims and some fabric that I thought I might share with you. And then I did, for my birthday, I ordered from Red Lead Paperworks. They have got the most amazing stamps. They are so pretty. And I got, yeah, so I was going to share with you guys the stamps that I picked up. They are absolutely beautiful. And everything comes packaged so pretty. Your stamps, your wood mount stamps come in these really beautiful boxes that they've stamped. And so, yeah, so these are 3 of the wood mount ones that I got. And then these are cling mount, but aren't they cool? And I had ordered a couple other items that are coming. Hopefully they're going to be here this weekend. We'll see. But yeah, so that is what I have to share with you. I have no idea how long this video is, but I hope you guys are well. I will chat with you soon, and I'll film some videos this weekend. So we'll have some things this week to look forward to. So I hope you can have a fabulous day wherever you are. Go do something fun, do something creative, and just enjoy. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.